When friends decide to visit, you got nothing planned.
Get great Kentucky Fried Chicken with the taste that can be beat.
The Colonel's original recipe, a perfect take-home treat.
Get the Colonel's original recipe chicken. Great taste to take home.
It's delicious tender chicken. Herbs and spices too. That brings the taste so secret. Deliciously to you. It's
The secret's in the taste.
Anytime you choose, kick off your shoes, rest you with your eyes, or catch up with your knees. Our favorite book, our perfect company, so relax. Forget about the blues, you're doing fine. Leave your cares and worries aside. Loosen up your tie, watch the world speed by. Relax.
New Moistura fragrance-free moisturizer by Cyclax leaves my skin feeling soft, supple and beautiful again. Fragrance-free Moistura by Cyclax.
Her Alibi, produced by Keith Barish. The Accidental Tourist, producers Lawrence Cosden, Charles Oaken, Michael Grillo. Hellbound, produced by Christopher Figg. Rain Man, producer Mark Johnson. Beaches by Bronnie Brookhammer Martell, Bette Midler and Margaret Jennings Smith. A Fish Called Wanda, producer Michael Schamberg. A Cry in the Dark, produced by Verity Lambert. Child's Play, David Kirshner. Mississippi Burning, produced by Frederick Zollo. Roger Rabbit, producer Robert Watts and Frank Marshall. And Police Academy 6, produced by Paul Maslansky. What we're talking here is one-stop shopping. You can see all these films at the same time in one cinema complex, the new Warner Brothers Multiplex in Bury, Lancashire. And if you come on opening night, you get to see Liza Minnelli and go to a party on the other side of midnight.
Open up your mind. Come on, take a ride. Meet you on the other side of midnight.
Good morning. The opening of the new Warner Brothers Multiplex in Bury this week. A perfect time to reflect on the two sexiest cultures of our age, movies and shopping. This new place, the biggest multi-screen in Britain, is all about new ways of shopping for movies. The multi-screen experience, all about going to the pictures as opposed to going to a picture.
Saturday night at the movies, who cares what picture you see? When you're hugging with your baby, let's roll in the balcony. Well, there's Technicolor and the cinema score.
Ladies and gentlemen, Liza Minnelli.
You know, in the day and age of videos, when everybody gets kind of lazy, you just stay home and you wait for it to come out on tape. That's one way to do it, but the joy and the pleasure of going to the movies is really something that's so special. And that's why I think that this multicom is indeed so special. Please, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors to come to the movies.
There are already several multi-screens in this country. There's one in Higher Wycombe, in Salford, in Sheffield, in Nottingham, in Derby, in Slough. As to where the first multi-screen, well, a bit of a debate then. 20 years back it was, somewhere in America. The big boss at Warner Brothers here tells me it's Kansas City, but my research told me it was Omaha, which would make more sense because Clive Barker, the movie director, always says about movies, will they play in Omaha? And talking of Clive Barker, they're showing Hellbound this week.
And your suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
The best way I can explain multiplex, a thing that happened to friends of mine. They went to see a big British film person a couple of years ago, and he was complaining. He'd just been to the cinema somewhere, I think it was Milton Keynes, seen loads of kids queuing, and said to some kid doing market research, "What movie are you going to see, son?" And the kid said, "I don't know, what's on?" Now, that man was disgusted by that attitude, but that man was disgusting, because that's the way to see films. I'm not going to go out of my way to see Beaches with Bette Midler, but if I came here and I thought, wow, there's a Bette Midler movie, maybe she'll sing a song. Now, Her Alibi. It's a Tom Selleck movie, valuable for what happens to Tom Selleck. The variety of programming is so important. In fact, they actually swank in the brochure that no more arguing. It's like having 3 TVs in your house. You, your wife, and your kid, you can come. The kid can go one way, the wife that way, and you the other way. Aren't movies great? Time to buy your chalk ices.
The other side of midnight.
It's Elaine here, Mum. Just rang to tell you Zara's tooth through.
Ah, bless her.
This is Inner Vista. The easy-to-fit Austrian blinds you inquired about are now in stock.
Yeah, easy for who?
It's Betty, dear. Don't go out tomorrow afternoon. There's a Victor Mature film on.
Ooh.
Answering machines from British Telecom for around £80.
Hello? There's something wrong with this machine.
Sounded all right to me.
Well, in that case...
They let you know just who has been trying to get in touch. Hello?
Melvin, I've just picked up my messages. I phoned you as soon as I could.
I didn't call you, Mum.
Exactly, Melvin. Exactly.
For more information, call us free on 0800 800 848. It's you we answer to.
The other side of midnight.
One of the central features of the idea of a multiplex is other social movie events, other things to do, like the restaurants, the bars, the cafeterias, and the movie shops. This is a movie shop. All Warner Brothers things. I don't complain, I like Warner Brothers. And look, a lot of Bugs Bunny slippers, absolutely fabulous. Talking to kiddie stuff, Roger Rabbit's playing here this week. I saw it a year ago, but if I was stuck, very colorful, I'd go and see it again. At the heart of the complex, as you would expect, a sort of central catering thing, which is as far as we can define it. It's excellent. If there's one disappointment about the Warner Brothers multiplex here in Bury, it's that there's only one level of catering, the large, expansive hot dog, Pepsi, popcorn stuff. Some of the best multiplexes have other levels. They have this, but they have a cafe and even a restaurant level. However, my disappointment is slightly mitigated. This lady here is serving nachos, and as I can see from over there, they're going to have the hot cheese. When does the hot cheese arrive?
Tomorrow when we open officially.
Okay, since they're going to have cheese nachos officially from tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow. Warner Brothers, who in fact only have one small multi-screen cinema in this country, in London, they're taking this multiplex thing in the UK very seriously. £120 million to be spent on 30 multiplexes. Around this size, 4,000 seats, car park for 2,000, biggest auditorium, about 550 seats. Oh, there's a Warner Brothers film showing here, one of the 12. Police Academy, 6.
Get dressed up and we'll all turn out. And we'll all feel great when Johnny comes marching home.
Does Warner Brothers' involvement in all this reflect the growing rental returns from Europe and particularly England, the role that they play in a movie's take these days?
Actually, the reverse. We feel that rental return from Europe is not what it should be. I'll give you a small instance that the United States today, our attendance is equal to about 50% of what it was in '53. In the United Kingdom today, we're about 6% of what it was in '53. We feel that the competition is the same, in video or cable. Actually, I feel it's more acute in the States. So we believe there is a margin there for improvement, which is latent, which has not really arisen because of the lack of the proper facilities.
And how many cinemas do you plan? If everything works to plan, how many Warner Brothers multiplexes in Britain by 1995?
Well, we believe that there are about 30 to 35 locations which can accommodate this type of plant. However, many of them are being built now by the competition and the local exhibitors, including Rank, so that the number that we will build is A, depending upon the location, B, if somebody else does not build it there.
This does something for people going out. It does something for you. It's a good business move. Does it do anything for cinema?
Oh, I definitely think so. Generally speaking, you can, as a rule of thumb, a foreign picture made whether in Sweden, in Denmark, in England, or otherwise, should get its negative cost back from its country of origin.
From its home country.
Home country. And then outside of its home country, that's the profit of the cream. Well, that used to be the case in the United Kingdom. It is no longer the case because they couldn't get the income out of it. There was no potential and so on. I believe that with these type of theaters, there will be a market opened up, completely new market for British film production. I think it will be a tremendous resurgence.
So in Britain, really, you were saying you can't make a 2 million, you can make a £500,000 movie, but you can't make a £2 million proper movie and get your money back in England with the cinemas the way they are now.
Yeah, you can, but you will.
We will with these things. But isn't there some way in here, in the multi-screen idea, a way of making money for not so good films? People will turn up for the good films, maybe. That'll be full, and they'll slide into the rather second-rate, the one with the gory marquee, with the sexy marquee. They'll get in there.
The problem, basically, is that a film's success today is not only dependent upon the box office takes in or having a home. You've got to realize that today the cost of advertising has been astronomical. Actually, in the United States, the cost of advertising is almost equal to the cost of the negatives. You can't launch a picture in the United States for less than $7 million for advertising. So that, and not such a bad picture, it's not a question whether a theater can do business or not do business. It's a question whether you can afford to spend the money to market it.
Final question, just about why you did it here, why you did it in Bury.
Well, basically, it's not Bury, it's a whole market area. I think the primary motivation was arterial accessibility.
We got great motorways here.
Yes.
And that's it. You found the motorway?
Well, that was what the primary consideration. Above consideration, you have well over almost 2 million people within a 30-minute radius of a location, and there was no competition.
When you hear the word Bury, when you heard you were coming to cinema in Bury, how did you feel about that?
Well, I thought, where's that? No.
Where are you from?
London.
Well, you got that kind
Bury's up here, and Bury's miles away.
Bury's. You've got me accent, you've got a London accent.
Because my first ever job in theatre was in Manchester, at the Royal Exchange Theatre Company. So Manchester and I.
So you thought you'd come to Bury and welcome this new cinema?
Absolutely, and I like Manchester, and I think that the people in the north have got something that people in the south don't have. I really believe that. Well, the kind of friendliness.
We got a Warner Brothers
You got a
multiplex.
bloody multiplex here, and we haven't. Just the whole attitude towards life.
You know why you haven't got a multiplex down there? Because your roads are crap.
Because our roads are crap, but also I suppose that has something to do with the way that the towns and the cities are made up and you know, the layout. I mean, there wouldn't be room for a building like this multiplex in London, for instance, unless you knock down an awful lot to make way for it.
There'd be room for a multiplex somewhere out on the M25, but no one could drive to it.
Exactly. Who'd want to drive 25 miles to a multiplex on the M25?
So tell me, you're from America, you've had multi-screens for quite a while there.
Yes.
What difference did it make to cinema in America?
Well, I think it gave people an opportunity to choose more on the spur of the moment what they would like to see. They could choose an evening out at the theater and jump in the car and go, and really have 2 or 3 films in mind that they may want to see. If one is full or the timing isn't right, say dinner took a little longer than they expected, they have 3 or 4 choices. And I think it encourages them to get in the car and go out more. I mean, we all know with the age of video, how much that encourages people to stay at home more. And I think the movie experience is a more pleasurable one than just sitting at home with, you know, your husband or your wife alone. It's more fun to be with a group and be laughing at, or crying at the same thing.
It's all right. First of all, what do you think of the party?
It's okay, yeah. It's seen worse.
Seen worse. Quite a good party.
Reminds us of a wedding I once went to.
So, you've been refusing to do things to the other side of midnight for the last year since your early appearances, but multiplexes are close to your heart, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, definitely. They're nearly as good as video shops.
Does it really have the chance to sort of, for some of the more obscure and interesting sort of B-movie type movies, the cult things to happen, or are we just going to get stuck with commercial stuff, big-time commercial stuff?
Well, it very much depends on what time of year, because the American market's geared to sort of putting out blockbusters over key periods like the summer or Christmas, and during those periods you'll have 4 or 5 screens dominated by 1 or 2 major films, and the opportunity, if those films don't make the mark, the opportunity for other films to come in and fill their place, they don't hang around very long if they're not making money in a multi-screen. They just get moved on, and there's all sorts of films that would get an opportunity in a multi-screen, screen 11, screen 12, that would just not get a chance in
an ordinary city centre with its stuff. The big boss, Mr. Assenham, was talking about his friend David Putnam. You know, our friend David, our friend David Putnam.
Good old Dave.
And about the way that English films can't be made anymore because the English cinemas, you know, we're 6% of what we used to be.
Yeah, that's right.
There is some job without me, aren't you, son? So, are they going to have any multi-screens in Newcastle? 20-screen multiplex in Newcastle. Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, replace Paul Gascoigne, huh? It's been great here tonight in Bury. I hope you enjoyed some of the clips and a little taste of the way our cinema world is changing. On the Warner Brothers multiplex in Bury, on the other side of midnight, and Keith's dinner, good night.